Hey guys, it's Jeff. Thanks for checking out my video. This one's going to be a product from Meprolight. This is going to be a low-powered variable optic for your modern sporting rifle. And if you're interested in learning more about this guy, stay tuned. I'll be coming up with more after this. If you're interested. Alright guys, I'm back. Well, thanks for checking out this video. Sorry my voice is a little hoarse. I've been going to some live music events lately and I'm a little hoarse from that. But I just wanted to say thanks for checking out this video. If you like what I'm doing here, you want to help support a small creator, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. It really does motivate me and keep me interested and engaged with you guys to continue to try to get these products and put content out for you to consume to help with your buying decisions. So, like I said, this one's going to be on an LPVO from Meprolight. Now, if you're not familiar with Meprolight, they're a sister brand to the IWI brand, the rifle and pistol maker that's based out of Israel. This is their optic line of products. They've been traditionally doing reflex type sights, red dots, for pistols and rifles, and now they've just started recently coming out with magnified optics. Earlier this year at SHOT Show 2025, I brought you some video from that to kind of introduce it to you, and I've since been able to get a hold of this guy for a video. So with that, what are you getting? You're getting a high quality, low power variable optic by a brand that's been supporting the Israeli military. And if you're familiar with what's going on in the world today, you know that the kinds of products that they're looking for are products that are going to withstand a lot of abuse, because they are going to see abuse. So Meprolight has done a very good job of providing the Israeli army with the gear that they need to take on the threats that they're taking on. So without naming any names, I think if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So back to this high quality optic built to last. It's using some very good glass in here. It's a German shot glass. It is a little bit heavier, and let me get the kind of the ugly stats out first. It is expensive. It's not a cheap optic, but I think once you understand the features of this and compare them to the competitors that are out there, probably in this line or in this area, you'll find that you're getting a good value. So that's important to know. Now, one of the other ugly things is it's not light. It's pretty heavy. It's about 1.5 pounds. So you're gonna have a little weight to carry around. When this thing's all configured out on your rifle, you're gonna notice that it's there. So some of the specs on this guy: 34 millimeter tube. I've already got it mounted to a base, and you've seen me shooting it. Uses an MRAD reticle. The turrets on this guy are pull-up turrets, so I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I'll try to capture that for you. And then each click is 0.1 MRAD, so you can capture it, lock it down, and you will be able to baseline it based off of these factory markings here, so you know where 0 is from the factory. Let's see. It is a 1 to 8 power first focal plane, so you can see here. There's your 1, and then you throw it all the way to the side there, and you've got your 8 power. Now, something to note: I don't have it configured with this little throw lever that it comes with, but if it's of interest to you and something you want to add to it once you get it for yourself, there's a little set screw back there, and it does add a little bit of leverage if you need that little bit of extra leverage whenever you're throwing this. This does provide you that. I like the streamlined look. I don't like having a big throw lever out there if I can help it, and this one works just fine from the factory the way it is. You don't need to add it if you don't want it. Here's your illumination knobs on the left. These are red and green. There's 10 brightness settings and there's 2 night vision settings. So I'm going to roll in some images of the reticle. You can see it's very bright, and at 1 power with the eye relief, which I'm going to talk about here in a second, it can almost be used as a red dot. Not literally, but almost. It weighs 25 ounces, so I mentioned earlier it weighs 1.5 pounds. I did weigh it. I can weigh it for you guys if you like. I'll throw it on the scale real quick just to get something. Now, this is a primary arms base. I think this base weighs 7 ounces. So factor that into the total weight. I don't know if you can see that. It's 2.1 pounds. So that takes it right down to about 1.5 pounds, right? 7 ounces subtracted. So that's how much that guy weighs. Now, I did want to do a little bit of a comparison. Now, this is not going to be a comprehensive comparison, but just for argument's sake, so you have something to compare it to when it comes to weight. Now, this is a cheap mount on a primary arms, and I believe this is a 1:8 first focal plane as well. So if you guys can see that, there it goes, 1:8 first focal plane. I think this is a 30 millimeter tube, and this one weighs 1.10 ounces, 1 pound, 10 ounces. So a little bit lighter, right off the bat. This is one you're probably familiar with. This is the Vortec Viper PST. Just compare that on a written quick detach mount, and that's weighing in at 1.15 ounces, so just short of 2 pounds with the mount, obviously. Again, just to compare, 2.1. So you're getting a little bit more weight out of this guy. And I think that's reflective because of the kinds of materials that they're using. You know, they're not cheaping out on this, right? They're building this thing to be durable. They're using good glass. And you know, when you get into the specs, which I'll get into here shortly, continue here shortly, rather, I should say, you're going to see that there's some reasons for that extra weight. It does have a 12-hour battery power auto shut off. I didn't read anything about a power on. I don't think it has one. So once it shuts off, it's a battery safe feature. It's not a motion activated or anything like that. 92% light transmission, so that is a selling point. It does let through a lot of light, and that eye relief, that 3.7, 3.8 inch eye relief. That's really something to be impressed with. Some of these optics, that you've got to get almost right up onto it. With a cantilevered mount, this is going to bring it in a good position on your rifle, so you're going to have a good eye relief. And that's why I say if you get it set up just right, you almost can use it as a red dot, as a reflex sight. Being first focal plane, when it's all the way down to 1 power, that MRAD reticle, it's going to be just a little circle at the when you look through the eyepiece here. But once you throw it in to magnify it, it's going to pull that reticle up, and it's going to fill the whole screen, or the whole field of view there. So in 1 power, you can get away with it, but at 8 power, there's no way. It's just going to take up too much of the eye area when you're looking through the optic. So comparisons, I did tell you, about the weights on some of these others. This, like I said, is not a budget optic, but it is a budget-friendly optic, and it gives you a high-value optic. Some of the other optics in this range, I would say, and this is just my opinion, but I would say like the Vortex HD, Vortex Razor HD, it comes in about twice the price of this guy. So you're getting half the price and a lot of the same features as the Vortex, I would say. Again, my opinion. Another comparison in the same price range is going to be the Primary Arms PLX-C. It's a second focal plane optic, but it is, I think, a 1:8 or a 1:10. So it is going to be in comparison when the magnification, whereas the Razor is, I think it has a 1:8 as well. So those are two that just kind of came to mind, the Vortex and the Primary Arms. Those are their higher end scopes. This is going to be half the price of the Vortex and right on par with the Primary Arms. Still, you get some features that they don't give you, being first focal plane. Now, not everybody likes first focal plane. A lot of people do, but not everybody does, and I understand that. The captive turrets, you don't have to worry about caps or anything like that. The night vision settings, those are all, nice features, and the higher quality glass. Something I'll point out about this is it is made in Taiwan. Whereas those other manufacturers make their glass in other areas, but it does use that German glass. So speaking of glass, it is using German glass. So that's pretty much covers the comparisons that you have for this guy. Again, this isn't a comprehensive list, just something that I had at the top of my mind. So what are the final thoughts on this? I think that if you're looking forward to getting out of the budget optic area, the sub, say, $700 range optics, and you're looking for something that is going to take you to another level with your optics quality, I wouldn't overlook this guy. I would give it a chance. Take a look at it. If you can get your hands on it, put it up to your eyes. See if you like what you see in there. This is a good optic for a great price when you compare it to the others in that price range, or that feature range, I think is a better way to say that. So give it a look. If it's something you're interested, I don't think you'll go wrong by getting this optic. It's got a great history. The Meprolight company has been putting out optics for quite a while now for the Israeli army. This is their first foray into magnified optics. I think they did a really good job bringing a great product to market. So with that, guys, I'm just gonna leave it there. If you agree with me, let me know. If you disagree with me, let me know. Love having the dialogue with you. Comments in the comments section are always appreciated. If you're looking for something like this, I'll have links to my campsite in the description. You can check out any of my other links there. Best way to support me is to like, subscribe, and check out those links, those affiliate links. They really do help. This is not a cheap hobby, as you guys know. Nothing in this hobby is inexpensive. And in order to bring the kind of content you guys want me to bring, I need to make a little money to offset the cost, because I am not a self-made man. So I appreciate your assistance. That definitely does help. So with that, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Just let you know, stay safe, stay active, stay vigilant, and stay in the fight, because the fight for your rights never ends. They're always coming after them, guys. All right, see you guys. Take care.